everybody? Welcome to the Crazy Ralph podcast. We have a special show for you, a special guest. We'll get to him in a second, but first, I'm your host, Jason, and this is...
Your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete.
All right, and again, I am pretty excited because, one of the things we wanted to do is bring on people that not only star in Friday or worked on Friday, but just have a passion for Friday the 13th, and this man definitely does. He's been doing it longer than I have, especially celebrating Friday the 13th. So we're very, very excited to have him on. He's Lammert from Jason Conquers, and we're going to get into what that means. But first off, welcome to the show, Lammert.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
All right, and where are you calling in from?
I'm about an hour north of Amsterdam.
Which is awesome. This is our first European guest.
The Netherlands. Yeah. So
that's great. And you know what's great about it? Your connection, everything, like technically is like, it's perfect. And, I've had some people just down the street and it's like, so we're really excited about that. So
awesome.
So Lammert, you have a past that goes back like about 20 years with Friday the 13th. Did you want to start off with how you got into being on an online presence for Friday the 13th films?
Yeah, it's actually quite a story. I mean, I'm from a country that's very small. Horror. I mean, we have all the movies here and uncensored, uncut. Even stuff that's banned. Everything's allowed here, especially in the 80s and the 90s. But I remember going to the video store with my parents, and as a young child, my focus always went to the horror section. So there were like a couple of covers that stood out to me. Was like the first Hellraiser, with Pinhead standing with the box. And there was this guy with this mask with holes in it, like a hockey mask. And it was the cover for Final Chapter and Jason Lives and A New Beginning. So, I was like, okay, when I'm old enough, I'm going to rent these. But once I reached a certain age, this video store closed down. So, and these movies were not shown on television. I think parts 4 and 5 were only shown here on television once in the 90s. Friday 1 was a few times, but then there was this other video store opening, and they had Friday 13th 1 with just a picture of Adrian King on the cover. So like, oh, I really have to get this. And then a friend of mine recorded Halloween. Really liked that. But then I saw Friday the 13th finally on a Friday the 13th when I was 13. So yeah,
stars aligned.
Nice.
And the whole atmosphere. I mean, I already liked Halloween quite a bit, but Friday for me was the next thing that was amazing. I mean, I did miss the guy with the mask. Was like, where is this guy? But I found out later.
Yeah.
So and that's why when I also started to go to the library and to find out more about horror movies, but I could hardly find anything. And then some years later, I think it was like the mid 90s, a friend of mine, he was like, hey, we can go into the internet. My stepdad has an internet connection. So the first thing I did was look for Friday the 13th and could not find so much stuff. A couple of years after that, I got it myself, went online myself. And then from then on, I just took different pieces from various sources and was like, hey, why don't I start my own website? So I went to the library, actually borrowed a book about programming a basic website.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's basically how it started. And then the community was very small back then. It was like 97, 98. But got in touch with people online, and it was an amazing time. Also because like I said, I'm from a small country.
Yeah.
Not so many horror fanatics here, especially people like horror, but they're not like I'm going to research this movie. I'm going to research that. I want to know more about this guy or this actor or a director. But yeah, I really connected with those people. And yeah, that also, I was, looking out for more stuff online and also tried to reach out to cast and crew members.
Mhm,
But um, this was a day when the Friday 13th series was still considered trash. I
mhm.
mean, it was not celebrated as it is today. I mean, today, we have all the merchandise, all the figures and everything. So I tried to reach out to a couple of people, but back then, I won't mention any names, but back then, nah, not interested. Nah, those movies, why you want to talk
Mhm.
about that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was an amazing time, and I found out about the deleted scene stuff and everything. So yeah, it was a
We'll
whole
get to
rabbit
that.
hole. Yeah,
We'll get
yeah,
to that because that's what drew me to you. So, what I find fascinating is like just your struggle to climb this mountain of like
Mhm.
of Friday the 13th. Like for us, in the U.S. and Canada, it was always just readily available. It's like you
yeah,
see it, you rent it or you buy it. Now you could stream it, but regardless, the time in age, like it was so easy for us. So it's kind of fascinating to hear what you had to go through, like what a perspective it puts on for for us, like
yeah, yeah. And I'm amazed by today. I mean, you can find anything online.
And that's okay. So that's a good. I'm happy you said that because I remember when I was a kid. Now we could find the movies, but there was no horror merchandise anywhere, right? Like
No, no.
So I remember I was like a 12, 13-year-old kid into horror. So I was like on an island already on my. And I remember there was nothing in stores. I had like this old hockey mask, road hockey mask, and I put felt on it to kind of make it look like a Michael Myers, and it was just horrible. But you had to get creative because there was nothing out there. And and I remember the first time I had anything horror based in my collection, it was a poster, and it was a Megadeth poster because they had that Peace Sells but Who's Buying It. It was a skeleton. That was all I could get. And I wasn't even into Megadeth. But I had a skeleton in my room, and that was like, so. And then now, I mean, it's so
Yep.
it's everywhere. It exploded, right? So,
It exploded. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
And
also you have like the amount of people who like horror because we're all around the same age, so we all remember life pre-internet of trying to catch something on TV or cable or renting it. Where you rent the movie, you got to watch that tape 4 or 5 times before you return it because you got to return it in 2 days, and like just the availability, especially with the merchandising, because like I early '90s old metalhead and into horror, yeah, you can get metal T-shirts, but you couldn't get a Thing T-shirt to wear
no,
to high school. No,
no,
you may be able to get like a Megadeth, Metallica, maybe like a death metal T-shirt, but you had to again order away for it. I never saw somebody wearing a Thing or a Hellraiser or a Halloween shirt or anything like that.
never, never. So that was not just unique to you. Even in here in US and Canada, it was so hard. And I see a lot of these kids, I call them kids, but like, with their collections on social media, right? And I'm like, you bastards had no idea what I had to go through. I had to sculpt Jason out of clay just to say I had one. But anyways, I'm sounding like a bitter old man, and that happens from time to time. I apologize. All right, so you said around 97, you start up this website, and you did it all yourself, which is again very commendable. And was it just more like were you a passion, like a passion project, where you were just trying to, or were you trying to go somewhere with this?
no. It was just passion.
Yeah,
I just wanted to share
love
my
it.
love for this, and also to show people stuff, behind the scenes stuff or whatever I could get my hands on, just to share it with people, basically, and maybe connect with other horror fans, which I didn't have I mean, I had a few friends back then who were liking horror,
Mhm.
but they were not like me. They wanted to know more and everything. They were just like, oh, okay, movie's done, and I was like, okay, I want to know more about this. Like I said before already. So
Mhm.
yeah, I just wanted to share it out with the world, and the internet was a perfect place.
Yeah.
So
Once again, he's Lammert, and he has it's Jason Conquers. You're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, and anything else, or
no, no,
those are
no,
the
no,
two?
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So please check him out. I guarantee you he's got stuff that you're gonna be blown away by. And that's the stuff I kind of want to talk to you about right now. So, what drew me to your page was, seeing the unedited clips that you were providing. So, first of all, before we even talk about the clips, how did you kind of hinted to it, but how do you get access to this? How and such good quality as well?
Um, I made the edits myself, but the footage I took from the Scream Factory box set. There's like an extra disc in there which has some of the scenes cut. Um, I
Okay.
have a work print laying around from Jason Goes to Hell. I still have to go through it. I think I have two of them. They're a little bit different. I think one is edited, but the quality is really bad. So I try to take them from another source and then mix them in with the scenes of the movie. So it's not just the whole. Because, for instance, the Friday the final chapter scenes, there's no sound.
Oh.
So
Oh,
I had to edit, and I mean, I like to be creative. I like to edit stuff
wow.
and everything. So I just added sounds, and I mean, I have all the soundtracks and things laying around, so I can just cut and paste and make it like it's in the movie itself. So it's funny
Wow.
because people ask me like, "Hey, where can I download this? Can you share with you?" It's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, guy, I just did the scene, so I cannot send you a full movie because I just wanted also for myself to see, hey, where would this would fit? How would they would do this maybe?" So
That's
So you did
amazing.
this, yeah.
Wow.
So you did this, if I'm correct, before streaming and downloadable stuff. So like it was like it's not as easy to edit nowadays. We just download the movie, boop, get you a little clip. So you really had to put like the effort in to edit music and everything. It's not like easy nowadays where you can just upload any movie and do edits. So it's just impressive that you know early
yeah, I
technology.
made them. Made them a few years ago when the box had come up, but I made them in a very. I think now people call it primitive. It's not. I
But
think
there's a
they would.
charm. I think there's a charm to that. Do like primitively, there's
Yeah.
like a charm to it because to me it almost keeps like the identity of those old clips. Like I don't want it. It out of maybe
Yeah,
just
you
a
don't want it too
nostalgia for me.
polished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
exactly.
I could nowadays probably somebody would use AI or whatever to fill in certain things, but
Yeah.
that's just the footage. I just I just wanted to see how it would fit in the movie. So yeah,
Alright. So, okay, we'll get back to the clips in a second, but, like, is editing something that you do, like, regularly? Or, I mean, because that's to do what you do is not like, just like the average fan just sitting at home, like, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna put together some scenes that are gonna look perfect."
no, I think the first time I edited something was when I had my website and I wanted to share scenes from the movie on my website. I mean, the quality was like tiny,
Mhm. Yeah.
but I had to make it work. How can I get my VCR hooked on a computer? So I had to
Yeah.
Figure
discover
out.
what
Yep.
how I could manage to do that. So I found a special graphics card I could put in, and it was like a TV tuning.
Yeah.
So I had to find the signal. I think I spent
Yeah.
days figuring this out, and then finally I was able to record it. The quality was really bad, but then I still had to, edit, put a little watermark in. I just wanted to
Yeah,
be a little bit professional,
for
like
sure.
like.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first time, but I'm not a professional editor. It's just more like a thing. I like, hey, let's just make
Lambert,
something.
my friend, you are a doer because from day one, like when you had to actually track down the films to like the fact that you're like trying to figure out ways to hook a VCR to a modern computer and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I applaud you. That's great, and we're the benefactors of your efforts. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Um,
appreciative of your dedication because without your dedication, some people may never have seen these clips because of the effort you had to put into putting them out there. Because, like I
yeah,
said, it's not easy nowadays. We can just click on a link and boop, there it is. You're like using like Jason. You were saying you got to hook up a VCR. And for all you young kids, VCR was old way of media. Or the
Yeah,
old
and also
tapes.
also also computers back then, like the computers like in the late 90s, like 25, I mean 25, it's 28 years ago or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
computers were different back then. Software was different. It was a lot
Every
of, I remember it was a lot of waiting,
Yeah,
a
yeah, I
lot of
can imagine
waiting.
rendering
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Well, that's good. I mean, it was a passion of yours. And now is Friday the 13th your main franchise? That's the one you love the most?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, as a
Ah,
whole, yeah.
attaboy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, I want to talk about some of these clips. First of all, I have a favorite of, like, when I was on your website and I was checking out these unedited death scenes. I was blown away, and it was just so cool to see. And I know that, like, some of that stuff is out there on, like, $2,000 box sets and stuff like that. But for the most part, people haven't seen a lot of this stuff, so it's new to them. And which one is your favorite unedited death scene?
The one I did myself, I think the nurse from Final Chapter.
Okay, yeah.
Um, it's a little bit more horrific, and I actually added a sound bit of Jason's groan because
Oh, okay.
I took it from the scene where he stabs the hitchhiker. You know, when he
Yep,
does
yep.
that, you hear him.
Hmm.
"Ooh,"
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was thought like, okay, when he makes that noise, it's like
Oh, that's
extra violent. I don't know, extra rage.
yeah. Yeah.
So
And we've
and also
talked about that. Yeah, actually, how he's just more angry in part four. So it's good that you captured that.
yeah, and the Sandra and Jeff one.
So
Um,
that's mine. That's mine. I loved. I don't. It's hard to, like. It to me, it wasn't that egregious that it had to be eliminated from a film. I know back then times were different and stuff like that, but that's the one where when you posted that, I was like, this guy gets a follow.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, also I had to add the sound. So when somebody screams, I have
Yeah.
to find something, and you can't just download a scream and put it there because it doesn't match. So I had to make everything match and
So, see, I
make
didn't
it
know you did that. I didn't know
flow.
you did all of that. That's amazing. Uncle Pete, would you have a favorite deleted scene that you happen to come across, or?
I was just when I was looking at your YouTube channel, it was just all the different openings to the original Friday the 13th, and how I like how you put information on there like, oh, no scream, green fade, and stuff like that, just to see all the different, like, this old work print stuff. There's, like, to me, there's a charm to that old stuff. It's not as clean as polished. I mean, it's 1980. We're talking 35 years ago. When this stuff
Yeah,
came out, just to see that old material, it's just a nostalgia of it. I like the old, like on old films when you have like the cigarette burns on it and like the film deterioration, just the little cracks and stuff. There's a charm to that type of stuff for us older guys. So that's what
yeah,
I like about
definitely.
seeing those old clips. It's just that there's nostalgia to it. I'm like, I remember because on VCRs, remember you have to adjust the tracking depending on the tape. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
can go, So it just brings back good
Tracking.
memories. Yeah.
Yeah, and the first time I found out about deleted scenes or whatever was, I told you I rented the first Friday, and that was actually released by Warner Brothers, and the first prints they did were the uncut version. So,
Hmm.
for example, you have the top view of Kevin Bacon's death.
Hmm.
All the death scenes are a few seconds longer. So, when I think it was also around the mid 90s when I bought the very first Friday. I found it in a bargain bin somewhere, but it was a re-release. So when I finally got the tape, I put it in, and I was like, "Hey, where's the top view?" I
Oh,
remember it. I remember it was
Yeah.
it was different, and now that was already like, "Hey, it's strange. Why?"
yeah,
And then you see a picture on the back cover of that scene. So I was like, what?
yeah,
Why would they cut this out? And then later I found out about the US with the MPAA and
yeah,
stuff like that. So I was like, oh, all right, now it makes sense.
yeah. Sadly, yeah. So, one of the films, excuse me, one of the films that that got brutally mutilated by the censor board here was Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. And I mean, it literally got just taken apart. I mean, this you hear the filmmakers of this project, and they're just like, you know, just bummed about how, and I could just imagine being a filmmaker and having it chopped so much that like it almost doesn't even recognize it's not even recognizable for your vision. But I also heard that part seven's like, clips or unreleased footage are gone. Yeah, what have you heard about part seven?
Uh, I know that part 7, Kane Hodder had a work print, or at
Yeah.
least a copy with the scenes. He showed it at conventions back in the 90s.
Hmm. Didn't know
Um,
that.
I think the director had a copy,
Yeah.
but the footage, the trims, was trashed by Paramount in, I think it was 1992 or something. They trashed the
Wow.
footage.
Why? Yeah, I know you don't know why, but like, I mean, talking it out here, like, what?
Yeah,
Why? Like,
yeah.
what's the logic in that? I don't get it. You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
not.
shame because that one suffered the most
Hmm.
with the deleted scenes.
I wonder. Yeah, and
I've
I
always
wonder if.
it's always I've always had a hard time understanding cut like it's a horror movie, and like I'm not saying you don't need like super wild stuff, but like you're toning down, like you're going to the movie to see a horror movie. It's rated R. I'm over 18. I'm allowed to see this stuff, and you're trying to tell me it's too much because you sit
Yeah,
behind some desk editing. I was like, come on, I understand there's boundaries, but it's like, oh, it's too much blood. We're all over
Yeah,
18. It's a rated R movie. I'm like, why are you telling me, oh, it's too much
yeah,
blood? It's too graphic. I was like, that's what we want to go see. It's escapism.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, in the UK and Germany, it's even been worse because in the UK they had the video nasties
The video nasties.
thing. Because I remember getting a few Friday tapes from the UK, and they even had scenes removed, like
mm,
a few seconds, or they don't allow switchblades in movies. So, for example, when
I didn't know.
I think it was when I watched Jason Takes Manhattan, when before he lifts up your mask, there's this punker who
Yeah,
does the movement, and it's not there.
you're kidding.
You know,
Wow.
those few seconds are not in the movie. I mean,
How?
the tape that I had. So, and Germany,
Unreal.
yeah, was also very strict. But I think times have changed a little bit. Not sure about the UK. I think a few very
Mm.
extreme movies are still being censored by the British film board. But
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the UK right now. I don't know about
yeah,
movie movies like that getting the benefit of the doubt. It's just, yeah, it really is a shame. I wonder about Kane Hodder. I wonder, like, back when he was showing that, he probably can't do that now legally. Probably, back then everything was a little bit more relaxed and stuff like that. Maybe there's a hidden print out there somewhere, and one day we'll get to see it.
yeah.
It
You never
would
you
be.
never know because they found the part 2 footage.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and that's true, you're right, because
Hmm.
that for a long time, they said it was gone. So,
Yeah,
chances are, if this footage gets found, it'll be this man that you can go and visit his website, or his, Instagram page and his YouTube page, and you will find it there first. So, he's that good, ladies and gentlemen. Um,
thank
but
you very
you're
much.
you're a collector, you said you collect, so I'm kinda curious to know what are some of the things in your collection. I know you said that you actually sold off a lot of stuff back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
But I see in the background you got some cool stuff. But like, what are some of the items in your collection and some of your most prized collection items?
Um, I started collecting also in the late 90s. And like I said, this was a time when
Hmm.
Friday 13 was considered trash, not
Hmm.
celebrated like nowadays. So a lot of people who were selling stuff, or collectors, or movie stores, or whatever, you can have this poster for $2. Oh, we have one more, I'll take it. So a lot
Wow.
of stuff I got back in the day that way, but I still had to pay shipping from from the US to Europe, but shipping was also cheaper back then, and there were no taxes involved. I mean, if I would get something now, for example, I got the Jason Goes to Hell documentary, and it costed me like $100 because of shipping and
Wow.
taxes. So
And 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 tell people why you have a little bit of a soft spot for Jason Goes to Hell.
I like the movie, yes.
Okay.
I hated it the first time I watched it. Probably I appreciate it when I watched it for the fifth time or something. Um, yeah, it's a good movie. It's an entertaining movie. Like the soundtrack, I like the actors quite a lot. I mean, as a Friday movie, it's not, yeah. But
Yeah,
as a standalone movie, it's very entertaining and very well made, I think.
that's those are some kind words for a film that I can't find those sweet words for, but were you sorry, Pete?
I was gonna say there are some good effects in the film, like when
Mhm.
the sheriff starts melting after puking out the worm.
Yeah.
That's like the best part of the movie. I know it's a much maligned movie, but to give it, if I can give that film anything, it's that part is super graphic. With that's great effects in that part right there.
And
It's
the camp
I can
scene.
see, yes, yeah, yeah. The beginning with the pole and yep,
Yeah, yeah, that's a great kill.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
were you not featured on Jason Goes to Hell? I think where am I misunderstanding that? I thought
no, no,
no. Oh,
no.
okay.
I actually have been. I mean, I've looked around in the horror community the last years, but I've been out of the whole online community, posting
Okay.
stuff. Yeah,
Okay. Sorry,
for some
I
20 years.
misread that.
So.
So you're
Uh,
back now, though?
yeah, I just want I started this Instagram page. I mean, I still had a YouTube channel, which I started when I think YouTube was new, just to upload clips or whatever. Um, but I was just like, okay, people are interested. Okay, I'm just gonna. Instagram is the easiest way. You take a picture, you put it online, and later was
Yeah.
like, okay, you make a video, you put it online. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna see if people like it. But yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people do, and
Yeah.
also messages from some of the cast and the crew.
That's
So
great. Yeah.
that's yeah, it's cool to see. So I'm gonna continue, and my son is now the right age to watch a lot of horror movies.
Nice.
So when I
nice.
think some 2 years ago, he was like, "Can we finally watch the movies with the guy with the mask?" Because he knows I have some stuff from those movies. So and then we watched him, and for me, that was like watching them again for the first time because he was
Yes.
like, and he was responding like, part one, why is this old lady? Where's the mask?
Yeah.
And then part two, "Oh, it's him, but the wrong mask." So I was actually living it through his eyes, and that really
Yeah.
I was like, okay, actually these movies are. I mean, I still love that. I've never my love for Friday has never died or anything, but it was like it's sparked like more like,
Yeah.
okay, this franchise is just it's the best.
Yeah. I just rejuvenated it for you,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. For sure. So, I'm kind of curious. What's your favorite Friday the 13th film?
Depends, I think.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
You can give me a couple. You can give me a couple. I'll let-
one, two, four. I mean, four is probably my favorite. Um, I mean that's the perfect slasher movie. It's my all time. If I had to mention one slasher movie, it's gonna be Friday 13th Final Chapter. I also like part three is good, but if you watch it in the 3D, makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
Um, and part five, yeah, I also like part five. So
Love a
Five.
part five.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
That's good
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's definitely a franchise that is fantastic, through the first, installments and then tapers off. But yeah, I was curious. Always curious to know.
So I'll
Um,
ask, who's your
yeah.
favorite? What was in what film was your favorite portrayal of Jason? like what is your favorite Jason look through all like 12 films? Like
The
what's
final
your
chapter.
Jason?
Final
Nice.
chapter.
Okay. Nice.
Because it's just the way Ted White acts. He's brutal.
Oh,
He's even when they slash him in the hand, he just looks and he just goes on with his mission.
Yeah.
It's
We
and
yeah, we've talked
yeah,
about that on other podcasts. Like he's like angry in this film. Like now he wants
yeah,
like revenge. Like when he bursts through that door, I mean the whole door just explodes into toothpicks and splinters. And he's just this hulking guy. It's just like that's a scene you remember. Like
yeah,
bam. So that's a great look.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's
I've
definitely
been
Ted
I've been
White's.
banging I've been banging the Ted White drum like all the time. I think his portrayal of Jason is, to me, like even head and shoulders above all the other ones. You could tell like he was a little bit more of a seasoned actor.
Yeah,
And because it showed, it was a performance kind of, and just like, yeah, just the brutal raw energy. I'm sure it was a perfect storm between Ted White, director Joe Zito, and Tom Savini. I'm sure that all those elements played into it, but it was lightning in a bottle because it really, really elevated, I thought.
yeah, 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 yeah. And it's also the movie is dark. I mean, it's a very dark movie. So
Yeah.
everything fits. Final chapter, everything fits perfectly for me, and that makes it the ultimate slasher. Friday the 13th.
All right.
Probably has the best cast of characters where you kind of like everybody.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
It probably has the best, like the most memorable characters. Like you probably remember all the kills from part 4. It has like a lot of memorable kills, a lot of memorable characters. You got young Corey Feldman. It's just so many great scenes when they're skinny dipping, and it's like what we all would have done if we were that age and you got a chance to see some young co-ed skinny dipping at the lake. We all would have
Yeah.
been like through the window and
yeah.
everything. So it just really
Yeah.
touched on a lot of elements.
Definitely, definitely.
It's funny, and this is a perfect example, like, because when we were kind of going through all the horror film, all the Friday 13th films, we are talking about, which ones we liked. And I'd mentioned that, like, unlike a lot of the other franchises, with Friday the 13th, it's pretty like spread out on what people's favorites is. Like, with Halloween, it'll be very hard for you to find someone and not say part one. You know what I mean? In Nightmare on Elm Street, in most cases, it's part one, and so on and so on. With Friday the 13th, there's people that hate part one. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of interesting. And this is part, of what I'm trying to say. Yours is part 4, his is part 6, and mine is part 1. Like, right here, we got 3 like hardcore fans of Friday the 13th, and we all have different favorite films.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Um,
cool. That's
it,
also
it is.
what back in the day when the Friday 13th internet forums started. There was a big forum. I mean, it grew in the early 2000s. Everybody had their favorites, but we would
Yeah.
still discuss it. Like, hey, why do you like this? It was like a very like a community. And nowadays, there's one thing I noticed being back in the horror community. There's you post something and there's immediately something like, "Ah, this movie sucks," or "This movie."
Yeah. It's,
Like, why would you even post that if you don't like it? Or try
yeah.
to discuss it. Try to
It's very toxic. Yeah.
It's
Like,
very
Yeah,
yeah. It's
now
very like, "Oh, I don't
yeah,
like this." Yeah,
yeah. No, it's
you have
it's tough.
strangers
It's tough
telling you your
sledding.
opinion is wrong. Like, nope, you're
Yeah.
yeah,
wrong. I'm like,
yeah,
it's my
Yeah.
opinion. Well, you're
Yeah.
wrong. Like, I can't be
yeah,
wrong. It's my opinion.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
No, it's true. And actually, I'm going to throw one step further. We have a guy who works behind the scenes on this show. He with Facts. We call him Slick from Cabin Number 6, and his favorite is Friday the 13th Part 3. So between the 4 of us, there is 4 different Friday the 13th favorites. And I think that is like super awesome. Like, to be honest, like, yeah, I love that. I love that
yeah.
stat
I,
about
I, I
Friday the
asked
13th.
my son, we've seen them all now. Which one is your favorite? He said part 3. He's like, part 3 is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Part 3 is polarizing. People love part 3. People hate part 3. It's similar to part 1. Like, I think part 1, a lot of people just can't get over the fact that it's not Jason.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I get it. I understand, but it's, get over it. And part 2, same thing, kind of gets a little bit of gets ring through the ringer because he doesn't have the mask, right? And it's pretty fascinating to think, like, how iconic, we've talked about this, how iconic that mask is, and how it comes in the third film. Like, it's hard to imagine, like,
Yeah.
Freddy's glove coming in the third film, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty amazing, but, anyway, yeah, no, I love talking to people about their favorite
So,
Friday
do you
13th
have a
films.
favorite? It's hard to pick, I know, but you don't have to give me your favorite. But like, what's one of your most memorable death scenes? Like, I love Mark in part two because he's on a wheelchair, the way the machete slams into his face, and just that rolling down the wheelchair down those long steps, and it's one continuous shot. It's one of my favorite kills. Do you have like not maybe the number one, but what are some of your favorite kills in the franchise?
God. Well, Kevin Bacon, of course, because I remember that when I watched part one for the first time, I checked underneath my bed a couple of times in the
Right.
next weeks. So yeah. Um, Also, final chapter, Axel,
That's good.
Oh,
the guy from the morgue, because
Yep.
he's just that's the anger again of Ted White.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not just the hacksaw, it's also the
Yeah.
twisting. So it's like
yep.
brutal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, from Jason X, the freeze face,
Liquid
uh,
nitrogen.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, part two, the double impalement. But yeah, the one we got, yeah, was of course kind of tame. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But thanks to you, we get to see more of it, and
No,
that's
you have to thank Peter Brackey for that, because he was the one who got the footage on the Scream Factory Blu-ray set.
well, we will see if we can explore that even more. What's next for you?
We're gonna start a podcast as well.
Nice. Okay. And
Nice.
okay, so what are you gonna just, is it gonna be Friday the 13th or horror films or
Yeah, we're gonna start with Friday the 13th. I mean, it's basically a Friday the 13th podcast. I'm gonna do
nice?
it together with a friend of mine, Keith. He's from New York but lives in Austria. So he lives in the same time zone as me. That's makes things
Makes it
A
a
little
lot
easier.
a little easier, yeah. And he used to work in the promotional side of the movie business,
Great.
oh,
um,
very
in New
cool.
York. Yeah, and I want to offer something different. I mean, I love to discuss the movies and talk about the favorites and everything. But I think there's also still a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's
Hmm.
there to explore. I mean, we already had the book and everything, and those are great. But there's still some stuff out there. And of course, we have the Crystal Lake TV show coming up.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
the Jason Universe thing that's happening right now. So yeah, I think it's interesting also to. I mean, it's not that hard to talk about it, and yeah,
For
we'll
sure.
just
Yeah,
see
no.
where it goes. I mean, it's just gonna do. We're just gonna do it for fun,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
and
way
just
to do it, right?
have a good
Yep.
time with it. So
Can't wait.
once we start it, and if we're gonna invite fans, I mean, you guys are already invited. So
All right. All right. Yeah, no,
Outstanding.
love
Thank
it.
you.
Love it. Like, hopefully, like you said, like, hopefully, I don't know what this Crystal Lake series is going to be like. I think a lot of people have some skepticism and stuff like that, but that's just the way it is.
yeah,
But like, hopefully, it brings Friday the 13th back into some sort of a limelight. I mean, the fact that it's almost been 20 years since a film has come out, and I've talked about this, like, because like, I talk, like, some of the younger people and stuff like that. They really mention Michael Myers a lot, and Halloween this and Halloween that, and I'm like, Halloween has had a long runway in the last little while with no competition from, like, any of, like, like, again, like, I mean, there was a couple of Texas films that kind of, they
Uh,
don't really kind of move the needle, but yeah, but no Freddy, no Jason for like 20 years. And it's all they know. Like, so you got to think about it. A kid who was like 20 years old hasn't, it probably hasn't, well, because 2009 was Friday, hasn't even really seen a Friday the 13th film kind of be in a theater. So they have no way to, like, unless they dive deep, and, some do, but a lot don't. It's all just been Halloween for like the last 20 years. And that's, and it's kind of interesting for me, like, when I think about its popularity, I'm like, well, yeah, well, we've been parked for so long. So hopefully this gets things going, right? And we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
start rocking and rolling again. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. I tried reaching out to one of the people who works for Horror Inc.,
yeah,
Jason Universe.
yeah,
They couldn't tell me anything, just that they're working on something.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like a movie, but what's that gonna? Nobody knows.
No, no, I know, and you just kind of
Mhm.
hope the right people are in charge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What did you think of the new Jason image though, his new look?
Lose the jacket. I mean,
Right? We were saying this. Why does he have a jacket all of a sudden? I don't know,
I
but
mean, I like the the jacket in the remake was fine, but
mhm,
Freddy versus Jason, I
yeah.
hate that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I
No.
we were talking about how we just don't like Jason in that film
I
at all,
mean,
for stature to look to everything.
Platform boots to make him taller
It
is
is
yeah, I've
terrible.
as a Friday fan, I've only seen that movie 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
small for me too, maybe even 2, I don't even know.
yeah.
I just can't picture Jason standing in front of a mirror, like putting a jacket on, like tucking himself in before he goes out. That's just it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
just weird.
I think if they're gonna do a movie, just go back to basics. I mean, just go back
Yeah.
to Crystal Lake. Just make it. I mean, also the kills. Don't make it like a
Yeah.
Terrifier gore. Just make it. Like for example, final chapter. Make the kills quick and brutal. Like in the way
Brutal, but
they're done.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
and also have real people in the movie. I mean, nowadays a lot of actors they look like plastic fantastic.
Thank you. Yes,
They're
everybody's too
they're they're
attractive.
either they're either super buff or whatever. The early Fridays and older movies. It was just real kids with
Yeah.
good looks, but
Yeah.
still, it could be the boy or girl next door.
Yeah. Your neighbors, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters,
Yeah,
all that. Like, it was just, yeah, it all made sense.
yeah.
What'd
Just
you
Yeah,
think?
now every guy's
sorry.
got a six pack. Every girl's wearing a bikini. Everybody just looks perfect. I was just like, it's not. I mean, obviously it's not real, but like I want a little bit more reality, like regular, like you said, regular looking
Yeah, Uncle Pete's
Joes.
been talking about that one quite a bit. So I knew as soon as you said that he'd be
Yeah,
like,
it's a
"Yes,
pet
thank
peeve.
you."
Yeah, and
It's a
and
pet peeve.
also one thing I would really like to see again in a Friday 13th movie that we haven't seen in also a lot of the later sequels is the atmosphere. In Friday 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. Sometimes you would just have a shot of the lake. When
Yep.
the storm would come, or you just see raindrops on a leaf. In I think it's part 2. Just these
Yeah.
little shots that give
Yeah.
the atmosphere. Just
You hear a loon, and you're just like,
Mhm.
you're just transported into that
yeah,
environment,
yeah,
and it just,
yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree. There's certain movies that really played off the environment, and I mean, it's the most built-in like environment for a horror film as you can get. It's the woods. You don't even need anything else because it's just inherent. It's in the storyline, and and for you to not capitalize on that, not to make it your own, and just like, really embellish the features of the forest, the dark forest, it's a wasted opportunity. And that's why you just hope these projects fall into the right hands, people that understand this, and like, don't, and know how to, pull it together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, the mask though, for the new Jason mask, well, are you on board? Now, the reason why I ask is we did a show on this, and I posted some stuff, and then also before the show, I read some stuff, and it seems to be universally panned and not accepted. But I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
It's not my favorite mask, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. Um, I think the way it looked in Sweet Revenge, the
Yeah.
commercial, I think the mask was just a little bit too big because people were complaining about the physique, but actually
Yeah.
the guy who played Jason is actually a stuntman. He's not that small.
Yeah.
So the whole head and thing was just a little bit too big. And the mask. It also depends on the lighting in the movie. If you're just gonna have
Mhm.
a white mask, yeah. But I just want to see where it goes
Yeah.
with this. I know that Jason Universe. It's a business. That mask, that specific design is their copyright. So
Mhm.
they can merchandise it and everything. That's also why you see that mask now everywhere because it's making money.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the overall look, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, but I think everyone was.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and I'm like thinking to myself, um there is no movie right now. Like, it's not too late to change it. And Uncle Pete actually mentioned off camera, like, a good example was with Sonic the Hedgehog when that
Yeah.
movie came out and they tested, and it was a brilliant point by Uncle Pete. I'll let you take it from buddy, if and you could kind
Yes, I
of.
remember when that Sonic the Hedgehog movie came out. They showed like a trailer and they showed the way he looked, and the internet just blew up. Everybody was saying Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. What is this? Doesn't look. And in a rare occurrence, the studio's like backpedal, like, hey, let's adjust this. And the movie was
Yeah,
way better for it. So it's not
yeah.
unheard of. So that's what Jason and I were talking about, trying to keep my fingers crossed. Like maybe they're gonna like listen to some of the fan
And it
backlash.
worked because the backlash was real, and that's those the fans. Now, Sonic's fans, like, exceed in numbers the Friday 13th fan, but you're bringing it down to, like, it's all relative, right? You got to bring it down to scale. And I'm telling you, if you guys come across someone who posts online that they like this mask, please send it to me. I haven't seen it. I have not seen it yet. So what I'm saying is, like, and I'm not here to crap on them because they're trying to do a good thing. Like I've said this before, they're trying to do a universal Jason. Great idea, but you got to get it right. So it's not too late. Like, listen to your fans. You can make the changes, and you're better for it. Your fan base will like you more, and that's just my opinion. But if anybody that can shoot me a message saying that you like this mask, I want to hear it. I want to know.
And
Yeah.
it's the most important part of the franchise.
It
There's
really is.
no Friday the 13th franchise without Jason's mask. It's the most integral part of the entire part is what
Yeah,
his mask looks like. The clothes you can adjust, everything else, because of what he's doing, but it's it's the poster. It's we
yeah,
all have it around our room. It's the post, it's everything.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. Of course, the mask. I mean, it's not a perfect mask, but I was more thinking. First, I want to see a movie and what they're gonna do with a movie. Of course, the mask is iconic, but for me, everything we talked about before, like the atmosphere, the kills, the
Mhm.
people, the setting, everything. If everything's right and the mask is, I mean, not perfect, let's say, but the movie is good.
Well, definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Like
perspective, for sure.
I'm also
Definitely.
curious, like you said, with the movie, it has to be good. Like I'm more curious, are they gonna go with a supernatural zombie Jason, or can this Jason be hit with the baseball bat and be knocked out for 5 minutes? Like, which Jason are they going with? Because it spanned 12 movies. A lot of people know zombie Jason, who can like take bullets and stabs and keeps going. Some get knocked out, from a shovel to the back of the head. So I was just kind of like, what type of Jason are we
Yeah,
gonna see?
yeah. I'm
we'll
curious. I'm
see.
curious.
I my vote is to get the early Jason part 3, 4. That's my vote, but we'll see what happens. They
Same,
gotta.
same. And also with
Yeah,
the Crystal Lake TV show, I hope they keep it like a little bit more reality based, but also
yeah,
that they don't try to explain too much.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's, in a way, like I said, it's been 20 years. You have a loyal fan base, but you're going to try to appeal to a new fan base. It's been 20 years. Like, just do it right. Just like, don't worry about regurgitating material. Be creative, be smart, and let's see what happens. But the bottom line is we do have some stuff we have some coal irons in the fire. So we're gonna be getting some Friday the 13th stuff in the next little while, and that will be great because that'll give us stuff to talk about and celebrate or discuss critically. We'll see. But anyways, I look forward to your podcast. Obviously, I'll keep following your page to see updates. Do we have it? Do you know when you're gonna debut it, or are you still kind of planning?
We're still planning because we also don't want to do something that's already there.
Yeah,
We want to try to give it a little bit of its own twist.
good stuff.
100%.
So we're still discussing that, but we're definitely doing it. So, but when it will be online, I will post it
Beautiful.
or whenever. So yeah.
Great. Well, like I said, I look forward to it. I'm very, very grateful for you taking the time to be on the show. And if for again, it's on YouTube and on Instagram, Jason Conquers. And it's good stuff, good material. If you love your Friday 13th, you're gonna love it. So thank you, Lammert, for being on our show. And again, I'm sure we'll be touching base in the future, and that's always exciting.
Yes, thank you guys very much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.
And I always love talking about Friday. I mean, doesn't happen too much, even though I have all this behind me and upstairs. But yeah, it's nice to talk about Friday. I love your channel, and I'm
Thank you.
gonna keep following you guys as well. So
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We got one fan, Uncle Pete. We got one.
Yeah.
We got one.
There we go. Broke
We're
the
moving
ice.
up one at a time. No, that's awesome. Thank you very much. Good luck,
Yeah.
and we'll stay in touch.
thank you.